Hi friends, Budget Girl here, and I have a question and answer video for you. I put out a call on Facebook and Instagram asking for your questions, but if you missed the call, don't worry. I'm also going to be accepting questions below this video for an upcoming one. So these questions were personal finance, all sorts of stuff, and so let's hit some of them. I'm really not that interested in going back to school. I enjoyed school as kind of a type A personality. I did well in school, but it always felt like paying to work a full-time job and then also having to work after that. I don't get as much joy out of it as I think some people do. And for my career, I don't really need an additional degree. I've considered getting a master's at some point, maybe in business. Texas A&M does have tuition programs for their employees, but I think it's definitely gonna take a while for me to be willing to take on that additional responsibility of doing classes and everything like that. My boyfriend Jacob is currently a student and he went back, and that's, whew, and just watching him do that is giving me flashbacks. So not at the moment, maybe one day. If I did, I would absolutely cash flow it. Well, as you guys know, I'm big on marking the milestones. So when I accomplished something back when I was getting debt free, every time I paid off $5,000 worth of debt, I would give myself like $50 to $100 to kind of reward myself with, and that was to keep me from having a large personal budget. Now I have increased my personal budget just a little bit since getting out of debt, but I still kind of wait on the bigger purchases until I have accomplished something. So I'm about 75% funded with baby step 3 right now, and when I finish, I actually plan on getting a new couch. I actually have some samples that I got in the mail for fabric, and I'm very excited. It's not going to be a love seat, because I've had this love seat which I got for $100 on Craigslist since I lived in Louisiana, and this was at the very beginning of my debt-free journey. I would just like something a little more comfortable, perhaps something that 2 people could fit on more comfortably, maybe even 3 people, and just kind of sprawl out and really get comfy in. So that's going to be my baby step 3 reward, and so I'll temporarily pause kind of snowballing to pay for that, just as I have previously. And then baby steps 4, 5, 6 are gonna go like, I already have a plan in place to increase my retirement funding from 7.8%, which is what it is at now, up to 15. And then I don't have a house or kids, so those are not baby steps I'm gonna have. So it's gonna go straight to baby step 7. I will probably start saving for a house eventually, but after that, I'm actually gonna start saving for a car, because my car has been very good to me. I paid $3,000 cash for it. It was an excellent deal, but what I'd like to start getting into the workup of is purchasing a used car that is already depreciated as much as it really is gonna need to, and then driving it for maybe 4 or 5 years while it's still in very good condition and I'm not having to put out a lot of money in repairs, and then selling it at a slightly depreciated rate and getting another car and kind of repeating that cycle. I don't really plan to keep driving cars into the ground because you lose a lot more money that way, and also you spend a lot of money on repairs. So now that I'm in a better financial situation, I intend to probably spend like 6, 7 grand on a car that's going to last me for 4 or 5 years, maybe a little bit less, and drive that while it's at kind of its peak and it's not costing me a lot of money to drive, and then get rid of it and get another car similar to that to keep my car costs as low as possible. I'm not a car lover person, which I think I've told you guys before. I don't really care what I drive as long as it goes and it's reliable and it works. I don't really care what make, model, brand, or what it looks like, even as long as it works for me. So I'm very open to whatever the best deal is going to be. So that is my plan for what is coming up next. It's actually the first time I've told you guys about that. Yeah, new couch and then saving for a new car. if you're a homeowner, you know that there are a lot of costs that go into owning and maintaining a home. And right now, I would rather my money be working for me in different ways. I was able to rent out this apartment for a very low cost. It's actually close to $1,000 apartment, but I get it for $665 a month because I had an issue at another property that the apartment ownership owns, and they moved me here. And then I was able to sign up to lock in that rate for 2.5 years. So I have a very large, very spacious space with a free washer and dryer for an excellent deal. And I would much rather just kind of use that additional money that I would be putting at home maintenance and all that stuff towards other money goals right now, and kind of get myself really secure for the future when I do want to buy a house. And when I do, of course, I will do a 15-year fixed mortgage and put a hefty down payment down. So that's also going to take a while to save. So I will be quite happy here for at least 3 years. I do sometimes, actually, yeah, I totally do. It's hard to kind of get out of the mindset of everything has to be saved to put it debt. I have adjusted my budget. I even, this was a big thing for me. I got Hulu in January. I didn't have like a streaming service for most of my debt-free journey. I didn't pay for cable. I used a friend's Netflix account that she had, and she's wonderful, Jamie, you'll have met her. And now I have Hulu, and I've shared that back with her, by the way, so we share each other's Hulu and Netflix account. But that was a big commitment to go for the $12 a month for just a kind of a frivolous purchase. And it's only $12 a month. Yes, I went for the no ads at $12 a month versus the some ads at $8 a month, and I don't regret it for a second. But generally, like buying clothes for myself, buying, you know, I guess trips, that kind of thing. I've had to travel a little bit. I went home for a friend's wedding, and then I went to the Dave Ramsey show, and it's been a little difficult to kind of spend extra on myself just because I see that money in my budget, and I can't help but kind of do the mental roundup of thinking, if I put all of this at insert money goal here, right now it's baby step 3, how much closer would I be to that goal? But I tell myself that you have to, and I get to enjoy life now. I worked really hard to pay off $33,000 worth of debt in 3 years and 2 months, and I put things on hold, like getting real haircuts. I cut my own hair, which was wise long, and you know, buying anything that wasn't on super clearance and that I didn't absolutely need. I used to be so anxious about every single purchase that I made. It was like it was a multi-month plan to buy a new pack of socks. And I'm finally starting to unwind a little bit from that and just not really caring. I absolutely buy the good cheese now, which is something people used to ask me all the time when I was in debt, is like, what are you absolutely going to spend more money on? I buy the good cheese now. I buy the good coffee now. I have not one but 2 things of goat cheese in my fridge. I love goat cheese. And I just bought like some of the specialty coffee that you have to like get from the bins and grind yourself. And I get that these are not super fancy things, and a lot of people probably incorporate those purchases into even a strict budget, but y'all know I was a little hardcore with this, so it was difficult. And you know, right now I'm wearing a dress that I got on Black Friday clearance 3 years ago for $10, and it works just fine, but I haven't really purchased a lot more, and it's hard for me to do that. So I simply plan my purchases and tell myself that it's okay to spend the money. I don't let myself just spontaneously spend a lot of money. One, because that gives me a little bit of anxiety. But if I plan it out and I tell myself like, yeah, you want this, you have the money for it, you can afford it, and it will add something to your life, then I tell myself, okay, let's do it. And even with the small things, that helps me out a lot. So for the person who asked that question, said they were having a hard time spending money post baby step 2, that's what I do. It's okay to kind of take a while to unravel, especially if you were in a long debt journey. Honestly, I'd rather struggle with that than just be able to flip a switch and be like, I can buy anything, because I can't. There are more important things to put my money at, and sometimes I am gonna choose kind of the responsible, like saving, investing route, and other times I can be like, yeah, I'll really enjoy this and this will add to my life, and it's okay to spend a little bit more on it. Okay guys, that's all the questions I have time to answer today. I did make this a 2-part video answering more of your questions. That'll be up in just a couple of days. So ask your questions below and maybe I'll get to them then. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please feel free to subscribe or to like up this video. I will see you guys next time. Bye.